Craig, we've had a press conference, so it's definitely real. But is it real to you, and has it sunk in yet that you are now the Padres manager?
Yeah, I've had a few days of sitting up in the office with Josh and AJ, and that makes it real fast. Just diving into the things that we're trying to accomplish with the Padres, and this is kind of just the celebration day of this opportunity, and just fun to share it with family and friends, and very excited for this chance to lead the Padres.
A lot of candidates. You're part of that in the beginning. At what point do you take a look around the room and the guys that you've worked with over the last couple of years and say, you know what? I think I'm that guy. When does that happen in this process?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think I ever said, I'm that guy. That was not part of it. But AJ was telling me that. He believed in me. He was sharing that belief with me. Josh was doing the same thing. They were talking about, how do we create an opportunity with you in 5 years? This is the best decision you ever made for you and your family. And just those types of conversations, that type of belief that they had in me, led me to really think about, am I capable of handling this job, and can I be great at it? And a lot of those conversations and prayers were answered, and we thought, yeah, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna be great at it.
I've been around a lot of players who I think would be very good managers, yourself included, by the way. But did you, as a pitcher, player, see yourself managing or coaching someday?
Yeah, I probably did. I think it was mentioned to me by a lot of my other coaches that, hey, when you're done with this, you'd be really good, you'd be good, maybe not as manager, but in the coaching staff. And then, you kind of view it as like, well, I've got to pay my dues to eventually get up there. And this opportunity kind of came without having to do a whole lot of other stuff, but excited for the opportunity. I feel like I've got a lot of experience as a player, but I spent a lot of time with the position players, and I always viewed myself as an everyday player, being a reliever anyway. Now, will there be a learning curve on what that entails and how to manage, positions that I never played or experienced? But there's a lot of managers in the past that have been, on the pitching side, and there's a lot of managers that never played. So we all bring our strengths to the table, and we try to manage our weaknesses and put people in place that are around us that handle those weaknesses better. So I'm excited to, build a staff that way and, create something that's special here in San Diego.
As a reliever, you said it during the press conference, there's a chance you're in every game. So, you really are paying attention a lot more than maybe some of the other guys who know they're not pitching.
Yeah, and especially the role that I had as a bullpen guy was I had to be ready in the first inning. If the starter really struggled and his pitch count went too high, I was in the first inning in a few games unexpectedly, but I had to be watching the game and had to be ready for those opportunities. And even early in my career, I was like the extra inning pitcher. So I always had to be ready from pitch one to the end of the game. So I think that has prepared me, quite heavily for this job. And one of the biggest decisions a manager has to make is, how long does the starting pitcher pitch, and how long does he last, and who to put in next, and how to keep those guys fresh, and how to finish the game with a W. So looking forward to that, looking forward to working with Ruben, Fritz, Peter Somerville, Chris Apicicea, all those guys on the pitching side to, manage our pitching staff appropriately.
Talking to a lot of managers over the years, they say managing the bullpen is probably the toughest thing they have to do. I've heard that from more guys. You've done that, covered that. You know what that's about, how to keep guys fresh. That has to be a real plus for you.
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity, to hit the ground running, in that realm. There's a lot of conversations that go on pregame and, when those guys are out there throwing on the right field line, and is your arm okay today? You ready to pitch? How many innings can you give me? And then, talking with Ruben and Fritz and developing a pitching plan for the game. So I've been in those conversations the last couple of years, and now I'm just the one pulling the trigger, but it'll be a collective decision.
Seems like comfortable relationship with you and Ruben going into this situation. Seems like you had a lot of respect for him well before this situation.
Yeah, he's one of the best coaches in all the big leagues. He's one of the best pitching coaches in the big leagues too. And so I'm going to rely on him a lot. He's got a lot of experience, a lot of coaching experience. And there's going to be days where I'm like, Ruben, I need your help, buddy. And the thing is, already he's been willing to offer that, and he's excited for this, opportunity to work together, create a relationship that's very strong and makes Padres the best it can be.
From the outside looking in, it appears a very comfortable transition for you. You've been around the team the last couple of years in uniform, on the field in some cases, but also in the front office and seeing all the different parts of behind the scenes in what goes on in a baseball ops situation. It appears this has got to be very comfortable and an easy transition for you.
Yeah, definitely an advantage that I have, earning this job and bringing it to the table is having the experience with so many people within the organization and knowing how great they are at all of their jobs and being able to say, yeah, go do your job as best you can. Here's the freedom to do it. If we fail, big deal. I'm not going to get on. I know you're great at it. We're going to, try again and do it better.
Weird, you'll have some guys you played with on this team, on the roster. Is that going to be different at all for you? And how will you handle that?
There might be some weird moments, but I think it'll also be some fun moments where we can laugh and hug each other and joke around, and they're gonna, give me crap for being the manager, maybe a little bit too. And like, you're telling me what to do, and there'll be some give and take in that. But I think like having real relationships is important. Relationships will always be first when you're in leadership positions. And so using those relationships, not to my advantage, but to create an advantage for our team, I think is very important.
We are a long way from knowing what your entire roster is going to look like as we sit here today. But as the team stands and you know the guys that are coming back, your thoughts on the club that you now are the manager of?
Yeah, we got a lot of great players. We got players that are on Hall of Fame trajectories, and we've got young players that are, building their resumes. We've got an amazing bullpen, which makes me very proud. Like a bullpen manager having a great bullpen, that's what it's all about. So excited to deploy those guys in a respectful and exciting manner to where we can, put our best forward and win as many games as we can. But we all know it starts with Manny and Fernando Tatis Jr. and Xander Bogaerts and Jackson Merrill. Those 4 studs are going to carry us, to wherever we go. We get the best out of them. There's nothing to worry about with the Padres.
Well, you were here. The team was starting to turn the corner, and the fans were coming out. It is, as you have seen over the last couple of years, it's gone to a new level as far as sellouts go. The attendance here off the charts. So I will give you the opportunity to give a message to those fans who are going to be coming out. What is your message from the new manager, Craig Stammen?
Those fans are a home field advantage. When people come to play us in Petco, we're tough to beat, and it's because of those fans. And I'm proud to represent them, and I hope that we can create a product that they're proud of and that they're excited to see. And, they're going to be a big part of us achieving our big goal of winning the championship.